In East Rutherford, New Jersey, you will find the Rink in American Dream, and it is the site of the 2024 USA Curling Men's and Women's National Championships. We are on day 3 and ready for draw 3 on the men's side, and our feature match today on Sheet C is Wesley Wendling, the number 7 ranked team in the WCF rankings for American teams, against Nicholas Connolly, who's ranked at number 8, but it's Wesley Wendling that is the junior champion, and we'll see how this plays out. They had a good win last night. As you can see, they are 1-1. Nicholas Connolly at 0-2, and along with 2018 gold medal winner Tyler George, I'm Joe Tollison. Glad you've joined us today, as this is the first of 3 matches we'll have with you here at the USA Curling YouTube channel. And we take a look at Wesley Wendling, coached by Ann Swisshelm, who I know for a fact can give you daggers if you ask the wrong question. I've seen it happen, but she has this young team that you like. You've worked with them before in Duluth.
Yeah, I got to spend some time with them at the Duluth Cash, filled in as a super sub in Duluth for Team Wendling. Got to impart some knowledge, kind of play the player coach role, and really enjoyed the time with the young guys. Won't call them kids, but we'll talk more about them throughout the game.
You saw Wesley Wendling, Jackson Beslin, Kevin Tuma, Jackson Armstrong, as well as Caden Hebert, and they actually may do a substitution at the mid-game break. That have been doing that. For Nicholas Connolly, well, he is there with Evan Workin, Chris Bond, and Nathan Perry.
I got to spend a good amount of time with Nate Perry, actually in the broadcast booth at the mixed doubles last year, and did a great job. Love working with them. It's a team that's been around the circuit quite a bit. Looking to get a couple of wins and get into the mix for the playoffs this week.
And one of their spots, as we take a look at the other matches, Danny Casper, a surprise loss last night, goes up against Scott Dunham, who had a nice win against Corey Dropkin against Ethan Sampson, and John Schuster taking on Rich Rowan, and that's a matchup you've seen for years and years in this championship.
Well, they've only played each other about 500 times, I think, over the course of their curling careers, so be a lot of familiarity and camaraderie going on there. But yeah, this would be an interesting matchup. Wes with a big win last night over Danny Casper. Obviously an upset based on the standings and career results. See if they can carry that over. They could easily be 2-0 as they lost their first game on a steal in the final end to Ethan Sampson. Nick Connolly at 0-2 really needs to get a win again with a 7-game round robin. Pretty short week. They build up quickly. 0-3 is a tough hole to come back from. So really big game for both teams. One can get into contention. One can keep themselves away from the bottom of the standings.
And Wes Wendling, last stone first end as we get underway here on draw 3 on the men's side. Again, glad you've joined us.
Yeah. Back house. Maybe. Coming down. 13. Yeah, now. Oh, right up.
Looking to go right into the rings to start with.
That thing just never curled. Yeah, it's definitely. What happens when you don't clean? That's good.
Be a lot of chirping in this game within the team from Team Connolly. They like to jab each other quite a bit, have some fun out there.
Curl.
See the hit from Team Wendling, Jackson Armstrong throwing lead. Trying to get the roll to the outside and play a delayed corner. Now I'm going to have to tease Jackson after the game for that, because our 5-game week in Duluth, I think he played 6 hits total and he made every single one. So we said he's the best hitter in the country, never misses, and then flashes the first hit. So
second stone here for Team Connolly.
Really tight.
And Nathan Perry.
Mine's okay.
Nate's on the mixed doubles circuit and the men's circuit.
It's really just running. Gotta make sure
playing in both national championship
straight.
events. He's got that deep, like Barry White voice too in the booth. And, I mean, I got a little bass to me, but he's far past that. So he kind of challenges you on that end when you're trying to drop your voice down a little bit to keep up.
So next time you work with him, just put the mic real close and talk low and go, so everybody, we're ready for some curling today.
We don't want to creep anybody out too much. We want to keep them watching. Did really enjoy the time with this Wendling team, though. so impressed with the skill level at a young age. And I mean, such a young team that two of the players, the alternate and third, were playing at the U18 championships over the course of the Duluth Cash, which is why I ended up playing with them.
My control weight ran pretty good here, so.
And you heard on the first stone from Nicholas Connolly when he said, I don't even think it curled. They still don't seem to have figured out the speed, and it's just interesting situation here to me.
Clean.
We're fifth rock in, we still don't have a guard out.
Yep.
And again, that's more of what we expected in the first couple draws, that teams would trade hits a little bit and try to get used to the conditions, but instead came out guns a-blazing. And now a little slower start here. I think Wendling would have thrown up a corner if they'd made that hit and roll to the outside on their first stone. They would have played the delayed corner, but the flash obviously changes the end up. Now they're just trying to hit, maybe play through the end, get a blank, and move on to the second. Kevin Tuma throwing his first shot. And Kevin played second over the course of the weekend in Duluth. Got to work with him in juniors as well as the alternate for our team at the World Championships in 2020.
You want to stick here, or you want to go here?
Was that the trip to Siberia?
That was that trip, yes. I'm sure Kevin would tell you all the same things I have, too.
Normal. You lose the yellow, it's okay.
Got three members of that team playing in this men's national championship. With Ben Richardson, Luke Violette, as we mentioned, from Team Casper.
Yep. Hard. Really got to go, Ev. Hard.
Chris Bond second.
Hard, Evan. Nice sweep, nice sweep.
Uses his own, but sticks around, so a likely blank, I think, for this end. I don't think Wes is going to get too crazy with any guards at this point. So a good chance to just get a good feel, bank some time for later for both teams.
Close. Close. Yep. Clean. Yep.
I thought the composure of this team too. Maybe it was the veteran leadership from someone like myself, but they really keep their cool. They don't get too rattled in any key situations, and having a skip with the demeanor of Wes Wendling too, a very intellectual guy. He's always watching the ice. He's looking for details. Like I enjoyed the give and take with him a lot, because I was so impressed with his ice reading and his knowledge at this point in his curling career.
Curl.
Evan working, and you hear curl.
Curl.
And they get it.
Good.
If you're looking for a little emotion, if you want a little fire, you can keep an eye on Evan. There'll be no shortage of that there. So as we mentioned before, Team Wendling will be playing at the Junior World Championships in a few weeks, and they're talking with Kevin Tuma. He said, and we talked about this in Duluth too, that this, as much as they would love to put in a run, get into the playoffs and do some damage here, anything can happen, that this is a prep tournament for them for the Junior Worlds. They know that's the end goal, and trying to get on the podium after doing their job at the Junior Bs, the event to qualify our country for the Worlds. They took the silver medal. Needed to finish in the top 4 to qualify the United States for the World Championships, and put in a great run out there. So they're playing with confidence.
You can curl a hair, but
I'd be wishing them well at the World Championships in a few weeks, trying to get some hardware to bring back home, and I certainly think this is a team that can do that. And wearing USA on your back is a big deal, but coming home with something on your neck too, we'll be pulling hard for these guys.
So Friday morning, Wendling's going to take on John Schuster. Knowing the World Championships are coming up as we get the second stone, Jackson Besson, would it be a situation of John Schuster does, hey, maybe you could have thought it like in the midst of the game, or would he wait till the game's over to kind of impart some knowledge that maybe they could use at the World Juniors?
I think it depends on the scoreboard. If John's got a sizable advantage later in the game, then I'm sure he's going to offer what he can to
Yeah, of
help
course.
out. He's going to make sure the W first. But no, John's really good about working with young players and trying to help how he can. And having been through, as we all have, the junior process, and coming up in the men's circuit as a young player too. Anything that you can do to help the younger teams make that crossover to men's, or give them that world championship knowledge. And certainly, obviously, John has as much as anybody in the world. So, whether it's during the game, after the game, I mean, if he has something he thinks can help, he'll say something. And if I hope that Wes, in the same way that they were able to approach me over the course of that weekend, would be
14-1.
up for approaching John if he had any questions or something he wanted to know about.
Really good. 14-1.
Obviously, that's the future of our sport. I would hope that anybody in that position would take the time to do that. When we're done, some of us earlier than others, we want to see the next groups come up and take that mantle. And teams like Sampson, Wendling, Casper, those are the teams that we expect to be the next generation.
So first skip stone for Wesley Wendling.
Close. Close. Wait. Whoa. Whoa. Curl. 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 Hard curl. Hard curl.
Little pop on the out turn. That did tend to be his miss with the out. It was just getting a little positive when I was holding the broom for him.
Let's check out this way. Just check out the other side. Sorry, I felt like
Still makes contact and playing into the blank.
No, you're good.
Gives Connolly, though, a valuable free look
there?
at the draw, getting to throw one during the game and with no
slow,
consequences.
so.
We always like having these as competitors, when you can get one in the first or second end, when you can throw a free draw like this. Just get a good feel without having to worry about mismake what happens.
Being weird. Looks close. Go ahead, Chris. Line's perfect.
You hear that from Nicholas Connolly. The out turn's being weird.
13-9. Put it right on the tee. Okay, good sweep. That's fine. Caught the curl a little later. Great spot. Great spot.
I think it's just off edge.
You're at 13-9 for that hog-to-hog time.
That's pretty close to what we've seen for draw to the button. It comes up a little bit shorter than the button itself with a little sweep, so maybe not quite up to speed as of yet from normal hog-to-hog times that we've seen.
And last rock of this first in coming from Wesley Wendling. As they look to blank the end.
Hard.
Just playing his
Hard
out turn with peel weight. Looks pretty good. Should be no issue.
Win.
So Wendling does get their blank, and see if they change gears for the second and go after their deuce.
Well, they'll keep the hammer, and that second in coming up next. Stick with us.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Back at American Dream as we start the second end. Again, Team Wendling holding the hammer. After what turns out in the feature games that you and I have had, Tyler, the first blank end.
Very unusual, especially in a national championship competition. The level of play usually is to the point that
Fine.
with strong execution, you see more blanks. It's less likely when it's at a lower level of play because there's a bunch of rocks jumbled up in random places and the blank shot isn't attempted that much either. So, yeah, definitely a surprise. It took us 5 games to have a blank in our calls.
It might come down here.
Back 4.
Curl if you
We've
can.
had a lot of scoring here
Curl. Curl.
in the first part of this tournament.
Curl.
I mean, you look on the women's side for the first 2 draws,
That's
Tyler,
fine.
winning scores of 12, 12, 10,
14.
9, 11, 12, 9, and 11.
Those scores will win you a lot of games, period.
Good throw.
Jackson Armstrong's corner guard attempt goes in the top of the 8-foot, so
Eat.
a little bit of a stumble in the beginning here for both teams.
Clean. Curl. Hard, Chris. Hard for nose. Really hard. Curl, curl, curl.
Nice sweep.
Good, pair. Little war.
We're seeing a similar start to this end as we saw before now with that first shot miss after Connolly comes into the rings, looking at 2 and trying to decide if they want to go to a corner. And looks like Wes isn't real concerned about the position of either one of those rocks, so they are going to go to a corner guard and try to get some rocks in play.
2.5.
One's good. Hair tight.
2.
I don't think that Wendling wants to shorten this game. You know, they want to play here to try to score multiple points, and the more times they blank, then the shorter the game gets. And if you're playing against lesser competition, now you're giving them more of an opportunity to win the game. And that, I'm not saying I believe one team is lesser in this situation, but if Wendling feels that way, if they feel like they're the better team, then that's the reason why they would throw the corner guard in this situation. They want to attempt to score now. They don't want to run ends out.
He wants to tap it back. Yeah.
So the guard is there as we move to the seconds.
Unless you want to just straight draw.
They also could just get bored. They don't want to hit.
He's saying that just trying to blank ends 2-3 times in a row isn't a lot of fun.
No, it's less fun in the booth.
Lines of hair tight.
Back 8, heavy. It's heavy.
Back 8's fine.
10. Pretty up. 10, we're through.
Often.
So I saw
Right
Team
up.
Connolly before. He saw the one sponsor there. It said Todd
Settle
like.
down.
I didn't know if it was Todd likes beer or beer Todd
Control
likes.
bait.
That it's supposed to be a list of whoever Todd is in the beer he likes.
Yeah, I don't have any background on that one, but I guess I can do my journalistic duty later on and figure out exactly what the reference is. My gut says that has to do with Mr. Workin in some way, shape, or form. That's what they pay me the big bucks for. I'll get down to business on that one.
10.
That will be our goal for today. Yesterday we told you about
10.
breakfast burritos.
Yeah, I handled that one fast. Lance and I talked about that this morning too when I got in.
Hard all the way.
He says he's had 3 already the last couple days out here
Really
too,
good, Cap.
or his teammates told me. So apparently burrito is just his thing.
Board. Guard's
We
okay.
are your '1 source for
You wanna hear
burrito-related
more?
news on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second stone on the second end for Chris Bond.
Hold out.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Clean. Clean.
Curl.
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 Hard, Nate. Hard, Nate. Hard. No roll.
Nice touch there. The hack weight shot
Good.
clears and
Really
rolls
good.
away from the guard, which is a good result. Much tougher to use that corner guard when you're playing stones to the other side of the sheet. So in order for Wendling to use that corner, they're going to have to eventually bring the action back that way or get a rollout from Connolly. But no danger in this situation for Wendling.
Yep. Clean. Yep. Hard. Really hard.
That's good.
Doesn't quite clear both, but sit shot rock.
Normal.
We move on to Evan Workin.
Clean.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Clean.
Whoa, clean. Whoa.
Yep. Clean.
Whoa.
Curl.
Whoa.
Curl.
Out turn pass
Curl.
here for Evans,
Roll
trying
it. Roll
to
it big. Roll it big.
roll a little
Roll it
away.
better.
Still a double there again, but separates those two stones. Can also roll to a freeze. It looks like that's call number 1 from Wendling. Here's Jackson Bestland,
Yep.
who I was
Yep,
subbing in
yep.
for over the Duluth Cash
Yep.
weekend. And I
Hard.
mentioned that was my first tour event in a 6-year span.
Roll.
You're
Nothing
good.
but charity events for me, so
I just gotta bring it better.
can tell you the
10-5.
old bones were creaking a little bit out there. Over twice
10-5?
Jackson's
10-5.
age. They keep you young though. It was really fun playing. That competitive fire starts up again regardless of if you want it to or not.
Clean. Clean.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Got a couple of
Clean.
wins. Would like to have a few more. We beat Richie
Yep.
though. That's the biggest thing. Obviously that was the only thing.
Gotta
that
go,
mattered.
Nate.
Come on.
It's really
do
light.
it.
Hard, Nate. Hard.
Really
Go, Chris.
soft throw
Gotta be out
there.
of the 12 foot.
Jesus.
Hard curl that thing. Man, that was light. Luck.
We
It
got
worked
a little
out.
fortunate that it still pushed it far enough
That
to
down?
sit 2.
Oh yeah.
If that red stone stops a couple inches closer to the center, they'd have an open or somewhat open hit to sit 2. Instead, now with where this rock ends up, Wendling's going to play the freeze, and really no reason not to play something aggressive here now with Connolly sitting 2. Blank is most likely out of play.
Line's good.
The middle's open,
Line's
so
great. Easy then.
can still get a
Little
2
room.
pretty easily with a couple good
Okay.
shots.
Curl if you can. Easy. 13-5. Line's great.
13-5
Line's
should
great.
be there.
Curl if ever. That's good.
Not a bad shot.
How
Curls
much?
another couple inches. It's in a really good position where they probably couldn't get it out. As it is, there's a little bit of air, meaning there's space
Like here?
between where you can see the edge of the guard and the edge of the rock that you're hitting.
As long as you get to the, like, at least nose or
We don't need to keep this.
No, I'm going to lose that either way.
I like firm. There.
Sounds like they're playing firm, so they're not concerned about their own
got all of it?
stone. They're going to lose both. That's
I
the
think it's
plan.
firm.
They get to nose with firm, then that
You like firm? lose
red
our
should
back
go
one?
out too.
Yeah, just inside nose. Oh, I got tons. I don't even need to take this turn.
So first stone of the second end for
Okay.
Skip Nicholas Connolly.
We can always over curl. Yeah, we got to be nose, like nose the red might not go. So we got to be just inside.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Easy.
The
Whoa,
southpaw
clean.
playing
Yeah.
his in-turn,
Easy. Clean.
Whoa, whoa!
just trying to
Curl.
get to nose.
Curl. Hard.
From the red, from the red. Yeah, boy. Nice throw.
That's good enough, right on the nose.
Great weight. Good throw. All right, really good throw.
Now with that rock above the tee line, Wendling will be
Like 11.
playing a hit and roll, trying to get under the corner.
Yep, 10 fine. If we get nose, that's fine too. Probably like here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to roll under. Yep. He threw like an 8-5 or 10. Or like a hair more. Okay. Sure. Okay. I like it then. Nice 10.
There you see Jared Allen in the background behind Wes Wendling. Jared with some issues back home, but talked to him before the game out here this morning. In good spirits, ready to go. Ready to help his team get a few W's.
Curl. 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 Curl to stay.
Really?
Curl to stay.
Just really holding on Wendling. Not going to stick around, but is going to clear the stone. Maybe just overthrew that a little bit.
9-7.
So to center, it's like mid. We're going a
Again,
little off.
that out-turn
think
pass,
there?
too, on a little on the wide side. That's the second time
We're
we've
just
seen
gonna get
that
cute.
from,
Like, we don't even need to be buried,
from
right? We'd like
Wes.
to, but
Even them up, right?
He has
What?
kind of an in-out delivery where he slides to
draw
the
to get
inside of the stick and then
okay.
pops the
Oh,
rock
they said
out to it.
13-5.
Sometimes that can
Even
cause
if-
some outward
wait.
momentum.
Just even them up.
Oh,
The
yours
rock
is 12-8,
hangs a
it was
little,
like
and if it's
almost-
weight-sensitive ice, that can make a big difference, which we have seen a little bit with these hits.
No, I know. I was more comfortable with the draw. I was like, why am I calling this crap?
So final rock of the second
So
end
dumb.
for Nicholas Connolly.
Yeah. I was thinking we were at Granite. Yeah, we're taking extra ice because I just don't even want to get anywhere near that guard. Okay. We'd like to bury, but as long as we're in the 8 foot, it's good.
And there you have it. Pretty good idea what he wants to do here on this last rock of the second
Decent
end.
ad. It's a pretty good ad, guys.
And wisely, Connolly doesn't want to get close to the guard. You still want to make the shot and maybe bury a little bit if you can, but the only way you can give your opponent 2 would be to
Straight if
wreck
it's light.
or miss the rings.
Come on, guys. Gotta be in. Gotta be 8 foot.
it's
Gotta
not.
be
You
8
need
foot.
to get this to the 8 foot
Go.
in order to not give a
Hard,
shot
buddy.
for 2 to Wendling.
Gotta touch 8.
Hard. Gotta go. Come on.
Hard, Chris. Keep going. You're almost there. Hard. Wow.
Doesn't quite get there, so there is a soft weight shot for 2 now for Wendling. They just have to move this yellow stone a couple inches.
Like, draw to it,
Because Wendling does have
bump it.
second shot.
I guess it would be
Yes,
like a
that
left
red stone
back,
is second.
back 8.
I think
So-
like back 4.
They're talking weight because
Like
the
here?
only way you could give up 2 would be to throw something like a hack weight
I like this.
and end up hitting it
Just like back
just
4,
off
back
nose
8.
on the outside. You could push your own out of second and have the shooter
It's like back 4.
roll too far.
Back 4. back
Unlikely,
8.
but possible. If you throw a back line weight type of shot, back 12 somewhere in there, I think he said back 8, back 12. You don't have any chance of giving up a 2-point
I
end.
think this is fine.
You
only
can throw
sweep
to
straight here.
sweeping. You don't get a lot of margin for error with that weight, but you only have to move the stone a few inches and stay on the inside of the rock.
No end.
Close.
So final rock here from Wesley Wendling in this second end.
Yep.
They try and see if they can pick up 2.
And
Yeah,
wait.
this is
Get
really
hard,
First
Hard
points
line.
on the board.
Hard line.
Don't know that they're going to be able to hold
Hard
the
line.
line on the
Hard.
inside.
Really hard. Hard, 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 hard. Hard. Go, 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 go.
And that's really close.
My bad.
You heard right away when it hit, it might be a steal.
I knew it was like
I
the
didn't.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little light.
It's just lower across center. That's the same.
About 3 feet more weight, and he actually makes that for 2.
Yeah. I know. That's bad. On a shot like that, though, like, and we might not even made it anyway,
Yeah,
but
that's-
like if it's light like that, just like you can switch to have Chris go in front, but never.
They said the
never
rings
go
were
for
off, so I
curl.
was like, no, might as well.
We didn't have to be there.
So this will now be our 4th measurement, and we've had 1 blanked end. That math doesn't usually check out.
We got lucky. We can't be giving away 3 fucking dudes.
Really hot.
And Tyler George looking to get back on the winning side of things. when
Yeah,
it
I
comes
need
to
a win here.
measurements.
I need one. Based on the reaction, because that factors in, I think it's yellow.
It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, right when it hit, first thing was it might be a steal.
That's close, actually.
May need that overhead so I can get another view before
Who do you think?
they actually swing the
Looks
sticks.
super red from here.
Huh?
I said it looks hella red from here.
What's that?
I might change my call based on what we can see
You
over
think
the
it's
top.
You like that?
Oh, the booth is killing me here. There we go. All right, get a quick look.
It's really close.
I gotta move his hand. I gotta see the edge of the blue. I'm switching to red. We're going red. Never should have switched it.
So after the measurement, it's a steal for Nicholas Connolly. And after 2 ends, Connolly leading Wendling 1-0. Wendling still holding the hammer when we come back for end number 3. And Steve's Curling Supplies, America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years, is proud to support USA Curling. No matter your skill level or budget, Steve's Curling Supplies has all of the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. Right now, you can save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USA Curling 10 at checkout. Visit stevescurling.com for all your curling needs. Back in American Dream, and it is Nicholas Connolly. Up 1-0 after 2 ends with a steal there in the second. What we saw at the end of that second end, Tyler George, is both skips still trying to figure out the ice because Nicholas Connolly was surprised how short his came up. And then a little misjudge on the curl by Wendling, and that's why Connolly got the steal.
The times aren't a whole lot different from what we've been seeing throughout the tournament. I think they're expecting it to be a little quicker, but it's right around that 13-8 range for the draw to the button, which is pretty consistent with what we've seen for the first 2 days of competition. Obviously difficult ice if I can't get the measurement call right, though. I don't know what I have left. Retired from curling. I might have to retire from measurement calls now, too.
Top 8.
Nah.
Top 4.
You can't expect 100% all the time.
Well, I can because I did last year. That's exactly what I did.
Full 4.
It's a
Curl if you can.
2-pick losing streak now.
Hard.
So Danny Casper with a steal of 2 in the second end on Scott Dunham and a 5-0 lead after 2 ends there. So Casper back on track after last night's loss to Wendling.
Corey Dropkin picked up 2 in the first. They lead 2-0 after a blank end in the second against Sampson.
Easy.
Here's the
Curl.
second rock for Team Connolly here in the third end of our feature match.
Hard. Okay.
Pair up, but it was close. Just outed it.
Sticks around, doesn't get the roll, and looks like Wendling's looking to play away from the center guard. They don't want to roll in because it'd be on the back of the button. They're close to it, something that could be frozen to.
Clean.
So Jackson just trying to hit and roll to the outside.
Yep. Yes. Whoa.
Well, there's the hit right on the nose. It just
10-5.
stops.
You like this? Ice? I think it's close.
You mentioned Jared Allen for Team Ruonen. They're trailing John Schuster 3-0, but we will get to look at Rich Ruonen against Scott Dunham this evening.
Close, yep.
At 8
Yep.
Eastern, 7 Central. Back to
Clean.
this one, third stone
Close.
of the end for Nicholas
Girl.
Connolly. This one
Yeah.
coming from Chris
You're doing
Bond.
good.
If I tried to throw with Chris's delivery, I don't think I could get up again. I think I'd do it once, and that'd be a wrap. He gets so low to the ice, but his legs are so long. His chin is actually way below his knee from his slide foot when he throws. He could probably tie himself up in a pretzel.
Clean. Whoa. Curl. 10. Curl.
Now Kevin Tuma.
Whoa.
Just-
9-5. Same weight, less broom.
Again, simple clear.
Yeah, I like this. We're gonna hold this dead straight, so. Clean. Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard
it's close. Okay, good toss. And you know
Southpaw
that's
playing that hit and roll again.
really good sweep finesse on that.
Crosses to the other side. Eventually somebody's going to try to get underneath that center guard. Connolly was attempting to roll under center.
Just rolled a little more than they wanted it to. Maybe didn't need as hard a sweeping as they thought.
Now that over curled,
9-5,
so they
9-5.
definitely needed to sweep.
Close.
Just needed to sweep
9-5.
more.
Close,
Gotcha.
yep. Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Not able to roll to the outside, so stays
10-5.
in the fours, and
10-5.
This
Hey,
should curl
Connolly will
more.
get another
play-
look at the hit and roll, now from
play
the
normal
opposite
here?
side of the sheet.
is normal here?
I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, sorry. Can we play this normal here?
You want normal?
Yeah. I can't. I don't. Yeah.
Normal plays into a flatter roll,
Here, what?
so would roll to the top of the button if they can make this. Evan Workin playing his in-turn. You see that tuck delivery up on the toe
Easy.
with the corn broom.
Yep.
Very common for North Dakota players
Hard.
and Manitoba players.
Easy, clean,
Whoa,
clean,
whoa,
clean.
whoa.
It's close, close, close. Jesus.
Ends up
so hot.
on the beak.
Just so up.
It's a tough shot. Trying to get that roll in. That slide is usually
Yep.
called the Manitoba tuck.
Yep.
Throw with that
Hard.
toe down,
Clean.
heel up.
Close. Close. Yep, yep, yep. Hard.
The North Dakotans probably take offense to that.
Good throw.
Is the corn broom a
10-2.
requisite?
You want the same?
No, it's very common for it, yeah, but it's not absolutely necessary.
Be ready. It will come at the end.
And I can remember Kevin Kakala, Zach Jacobson actually using just a small metal bar for their sliding broom that was
Clean.
about the size of their fist,
Clean,
which, again, something if I tried, I'd be
Stay close,
probably
Chris.
eating
Yep.
some ice, but
clean.
Yep.
I think
Straight.
they felt that
straight.
helped
Yep.
with speed.
Hard, Nate.
Sit.
Sit.
Come on.
Good
Okay,
throw.
everybody just getting a little more roll than they're looking for.
It's better than it was, but now I think if you're Wendling with where that rock is and how late in the end it is, you can play the roll in.
It's got to be 11 at least.
It should play to the top side of the tee line with a hack weight shot, so you're not really afraid of the freeze anymore.
Final stone to the end for Jackson Bestland.
Close. Whoa. Whoa, curl.
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 Needs to get up a little bit, starting to turn. Kevin Tuma trying to get it to
Hard,
curl.
Kevin.
Hard, Kev.
Hard. Any roll.
Ends up nose, but
Board.
not too bad. Can't quite see all of it. Did look like Tuma got that one moving a little bit.
Board. Sorry, I missed that. I missed that last one. Yeah. I got 11. Yeah. Yeah. I got 11-2 on theirs, but yeah.
So first stone of the end for Nicholas Connolly.
Yep. Yep.
Easy,
Well,
easy,
man.
This is
easy.
the lefty playing his out turn. This
Yep.
is on a really tight track
Hard,
out of
Chris.
his hand.
Stay close,
I think
Nate.
this has got to be on the guard.
Hard. Chris, do it.
Watch the roll.
And does hit the guard and
Watch the roll, Nate.
opens that stone up.
Get her in.
Right?
If Nate can get that one in, I'd be pretty impressed.
Try to overbury.
So now it's rock placement for
I like
Wes
that. I feel
Wendling,
a
just
lot.
trying to figure out where to go to not
Fine with there.
give a
I
double.
think it's just edge.
So you can throw this in the top of the 12-foot open by that guard. You can
Or do
throw
you-
it in the top of the 8-foot if it buries.
I was going to say, you try and bury behind the guard that's out there to the right.
You don't really need to, because even if this rock is buried, they're just going to hit the open one. So all you have to do is not leave a double. And you don't want to leave it staggered underneath, so if they make the hit and roll, then you can't get to their stone.
Right.
So really, you're just placing this probably top house, open, close to the guard, but not buried.
Okay, yeah, my question on the buried was to prevent the double.
Yeah, but with the bury, they hit and roll again, then you can't get to their stone.
Okay.
If you leave it open in the 12s, then even if they make the hit and roll, you can still use it. Looks like they're still sweeping. You don't want to sweep it to a double. Ends up even.
Pretty much buried.
Not sure if they can get them both. I mean, you got to throw a Hummer to get this one out, to get the second stone out. But really just not a lot of reason to throw it to an area where you might give them that shot.
They're pretty even, but it's there. Yeah.
Connolly thinks he can get him going. So we're going to see some velocity on this one. We're going to see maybe some Joel Dietz weight.
Nose is fine. Yep.
Joel says, oh, so it's going to be offline then.
Yeah, I think it's easier with the other turn, but the rocks are too dead to make it.
So Nick throwing his in turn. Going to try to get action off of that stone. So kicks with some spin.
Yep. Whoa. Easy. Curl.
It's on the wide side right
Hard,
now. He's got to worry about getting one of them first.
He's going to get the one.
Just gets a piece
the
of the
second, but not enough.
It was definitely there. He only hit the backside of that red stone.
Yeah, we weren't anywhere near the guard.
No, you were clear.
So for Wes Wendling, a chance for two. With a simple draw into the 8.
Almost a learning point there for
Into the
Wes.
12, actually. But.
Sweeping that rock to where they did is what gave that shot to Connolly. And they didn't want to leave a double playing off his shooter, but if you sweep it deep enough, then double's there anyways. So
we cleared it by like a foot.
Rock placement's so important, but they get away with it and now have draw for 2, playing a similar track.
A little left.
Line's good. Okay, wait only.
And Wes Wendling with this last rock just needs to get it in the house for 2.
Oh, boys.
Gliding a little bit. I think it should stop and have some paint. And does, back of the 8-foot. Good enough for the second point. Wendling takes their 2, take the lead.
So after a steal in the second for Connolly, Wes Wendling gets 2 in the third. It is 2-1 with the 4th end coming up. And Warm Room Hero is the intuitive curling club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registrations, and more. Warm Room Hero, a platform built for curlers by curlers. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. That's Warm Room Hero at curling.club. Back at American Dream, we are in draw 3 on the men's side of this USA Curling National Championships. And it is Wes Wendling out in front of Nicholas Connolly 2-1 as we start this 4th end. The sheet next to us after John Schuster put up 3 in the second. Rich Ruohonen put up 3 in the third, so they're even 3-3.
That did not look like a 3 coming up for Ruohonen. John had 2 in the 4-foot going to Richie's
13-5.
first, I believe. Might have been his second stone, but John flashed a hit on his first, playing an open hit in the outside of the house, and had an opportunity for a double on his second stone and only removed one. So a little miscue from John, but only a tie game there.
T. Top
Line's
4.
great.
Top 8.
First time in this one that Nicholas Connolly has held the hammer.
Top 4. Top 8.
Hard then. Hard. Far as you can. Far as you can. Right
Wendling
here.
goes right to the center guard with the 1-point lead. Now Jackson Armstrong
That's good.
How bad, Jack?
14-3.
a little
Guys,
short
like
on the
straight
draw.
or
Sweepers
chase it?
thought that was going to carry a little farther than it did. Stops on the top of the 8-foot, but not a terrible spot.
Yeah, no, make, hey, you
Up
can
here's
make the
okay.
hit and roll, right?
You want to hit it?
I don't hate that.
Okay.
It's a little conservative play to play the hit as opposed to the draw. Not right or wrong, but choosing to hit that stone. It is above the tee line, a spot that Wendling could use it, so I don't think Connolly wants to leave him that position. Instead, going to try to just play a soft hit with Nate Perry's.
Hard!
This is really tight. It looks soft, too.
You gotta go! Hard, buddy!
If it wrecks
Keep
the guard,
going,
then
it's close.
that guard will go back to where it was, too, if it's
Keep
pushed
going.
off the
Hard,
center
keep
line.
going.
Just slid by.
Wow. Great
Thank
sweep
God
to
you
get that by the guard. I thought that was gone.
Jesus.
I like this.
And again, the no-tick rules newly introduced.
You know, only a
Head
couple
up.
years old now. I think this is year 3.
Yep.
The players like the rule. They weren't sure about it at the start, but it does seem to create more offense, more rocks in play.
Whoa.
There's a hit.
A nice
And
call
the
there
double.
by Wes Wendling. That was supposed to just be a hit and roll, but
Decent pro side.
a little tight on line. Got him off the sweep to let it curl more and ends up making the thin double. So good job by the young skip. A little hand up thank you from Kevin Tuma. Kev just pinched that one a little bit, I think.
Yep. Hard.
On the inside out
Off.
double or hit and roll
Roll it,
attempt.
roll it. Oh, no. That's fine.
I think they were playing for the double, but plan B was the roll, and a really good result there. So good call by Nick Connolly, too. Both skips with a nice plan B call.
How do we freeze on the inside?
Yeah. I kind of like that too.
Now the chess match for positioning will start with these
Probably 05.
draws to rocks in the 4-foot.
Okay.
Looking like a mixed double setup right now. That rock in the back of the 4s, a center guard, and one on the top of the 4-foot.
Line's good.
T.
Hair tight. Close.
T.
Close.
And Kevin Tuma stone.
Line's good. Line's good. Whoa.
Kevin playing this out-turn freeze. Doesn't want to bounce.
Good rock. That'll work.
Little touch is just fine. Good angle. Nice shot from Kevin. Kevin was unhappy with his soft game, draw weight, over the weekend in Duluth when we played. Not a regular issue for him, but just something he was struggling with at the time. And
It's good. Close.
good to see Kev make that one.
7-8.
Nice touch.
Line's good.
8.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Come on. Coming down. Really coming down.
I think
Keep
we're getting a
going.
little more curl
Hard.
maybe on this side
Roll
than
it.
the other.
Roll it.
So that weight was, that weight came down quite a bit. I think throwing maybe a little soft too, but the way they were able to hold the line on Nate Perry's that got by the guard, and then the way that one buckled and turned over, it does look like maybe there's a little more curl on the right-hander's in-turn side. I have to be specific with righty-lefty because we got two southpaws in this game, I think. both playing for Team Connolly.
Close, yep.
Can't they just throw it the right hand like the rest of us and not complicate it? I got to actually pay attention to these things and think.
Hard,
Well, then you have
Looking
to
at Matt Wall over there, giving me a sideways glance. Another southpaw.
And then you have to find left-handed stones, right?
And another one in Mr. Dietz here. The lefties in the booth are not pleased with this. Yeah, that's a pointed comment. That's right.
Nose firm.
The Red's starting to pile up in the house now for Wendling. Sitting 1-2. It's like 1, 2, 4, and 5. Yellow rock is third count. Connolly with hammer.
Hard.
Trying to get this to turn over.
Touch it. Damn it.
That's the one that's going to run? Come
Christ,
on.
man.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, Evan's a little fired up right now. Got to rein that in just a touch.
I'm seeing the end, you know. Probably like an 05.
I don't blame Nick with where he put the broom. That one was running a little bit.
Want to go? I mean, you pointed out it seemed one side of the ice over the other, because we saw in the last end what they thought was enough weight came up really short.
Yeah, we're really not getting a lot of curl on that side, and I think Nick thought he tightened the broom up enough to make the shot and still just run.
Top 4, top 8. Line's good. Line's great.
This one should finish up on this line too. Needs to carry a little more though.
Good throw.
Great line, ends up in the top of the 12.
Like that?
So
Chris, this is the call. This is the call. You gotta go around it. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you like?
Yep.
yeah, draw should be the call with the way those rocks are set up. The one in the 12s that Veslin just threw kind of serves as another guard. We're just trying to get to top 4's T line with this shot.
Yep.
Line's great. Line's
Hard.
great. Line's really good.
Hard.
Starting to turn now.
Hard.
Needs to
Hard,
go for
Chris,
line.
Close. Hard, buddy. Hard, switch. Switch.
Still by now.
Curl. Hard. Hard, bend that thing. Hard, Chris, keep going, keep going, keep going. Great sweep, guys. Good.
Very nicely done. Good sweep there.
I feel like we're just here. It's just this, JB.
Okay. Like
It's
this
that
one?
or we don't ever do this, right? I like this better.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's the correct call. You
I
can make it
think
with
we're
the
here.
in-turn or the out-turn. The out-turn gets you the button.
LSD was like here.
Yeah.
Just
I like
isn't
that.
enough of that Yellowstone to try to pick that out.
Just draw. Yep. What time are we thinking?
So first stone of this fourth end for Wes Wendling.
I like it.
Line's good. Okay.
Wes with the out-turn draw. This side is a little straight,
Straight.
though. This is going to need to turn.
Oh. Straight, straight. Straight, get a tap.
Now they're just playing the
Straight.
tap
Straight.
as opposed to the
Oh,
draw with
oh.
the line
Yep,
that
yep,
it's on.
Yep, 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 yep. Take this one, take this
See if
one.
it has enough
Hard,
weight to
hard, Jack,
push it
hard.
in there. Now, weight was good for the clean draw if they were just getting to the freeze, but the line nowhere near. That's another one on the out-turn side for Wes that was on the wide side. And not a good combination when you know that that side of the sheet runs a little bit straighter too.
Yeah, that's best. Because Christmas tree, you can't freeze, right?
A good opportunity for Connolly if they can get this
Yeah.
roll in.
We could even throw board, but
Maybe brings 3 into the picture. Big shot.
And Nicholas Connolly,
Yes!
left-handed, needs to go with an in-turn.
Easy.
Curl.
Curl.
Stay close. Curl. Keep going.
Hard.
Hard curl. Roll.
Just peel.
Are you trying to go over the top or?
Wendling looking at a couple options with either
If it catches the back,
an intern
that's fine.
freeze, maybe a little riskier play.
So it's like a hair high?
Yeah. Like here.
An out-turn
Like peel
double
there.
is looks to be the shot. I agree with this.
Just
Up by a
it's
point.
off edge or edge?
Yeah.
Just got to catch the second rock a little thick to make sure that it doesn't shoot sideways into the red rock in the back of the 8-foot.
Peel.
Most likely, the angle that they're playing at, if it catches the red, I think it still spills out. See if Wes can straighten this one out a little bit. These out-turn hits have been just a hair on the wide side. Should run pretty pure here, shouldn't curl much.
Whoa.
That one looking like it's fading back again too.
Yep, straight.
Might need to
Straight,
go over the
straight.
top. And I tried to get the plan B and go over the top, but yeah, just again a little positive on that release. It's that same miss each time for Wes on the out turn.
I'll just
Just
let
go
you
the
know.
way we know. There.
Okay. Whatever you- yeah.
So for Nicholas Connolly,
Think it's dumb going this way?
chance for two.
I'm not gonna throw board. that'd be really heavy.
Electing to play the hit as opposed to the
Well,
draw.
Everyone was saying
There's a
theirs is really running.
Wide
So we
open
love-
draw on the
I'm fine with this.
what would be his intern side with a
Yeah.
big port to go through and only
We
need to
want
get
like
to
a
the 8-foot, but
13-7.
feeling more comfortable right now with
Yeah, I'll give it to
the
you.
hit.
But I'll also get it there.
So whatever you're gonna make, if you're the skip, just make it.
Room down.
Out turn for Connolly on this last rock of the fourth end.
Oh, he's playing. He had the broom by the rock. I thought they were playing the hit there, but just playing the draw to their own stone.
Clean. We're on the
Much
nose.
less surprising decision.
Sit.
And
There you go.
to there.
Good way to make the commentator look bad. The right call. Good shot.
So two for Connolly as they leapfrog over Wes Wendling. And it is 3-2 as we get ready for the fifth end.
Let's curl, DFW.
Let's curl DFW.
Let's curl DFW. DFW でぜひカーリングしましょう。
Queremos hielo derrotado en Dallas. ¡Vamos, Dallas!
Ready for the fifth end between Wes Wendling and Nicholas Connolly. Connolly just picking up 2 in the fourth to take a 3-2 advantage. Elsewhere, Danny Casper up on Dunham 5-2 as they're finishing up their fourth end. This first stone from
Touch that center
Team
line, buddy.
Connolly.
Keep going, Ev.
Looking
Okay,
for
you're
a
good, you're
center
good, you're good.
guard and
Really good.
over for Schuster and Ruin, and they just keep trading threes. It's now 6-3. 6-3 in favor of John Schuster after they blanked the first end. But here,
It's like a Pacers-Kings game, back and forth. Threes for everybody.
Top 4, top 8.
More obscure sports references.
Little room.
We do have an update on the Todd Likes Beer situation for the sponsor, thanks to buddy Phil Schrock from out west. Apparently, that's the Granite Board secretary, their Bonspiel chair. According to Phil, all-around good guy, so we'll take his word for it on that, and he sponsored the team.
Okay, board.
So when you sponsor, basically you can put whatever you want on these jerseys as long as it's approved. And telling the world that you like beer, hey, I mean, now we all know. There's no doubt. So if you see Todd around the Granite Board, get him a beer. He likes it. Thanks for the sponsorship, Todd.
Hard! Clean, 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 clean.
and slip by the guard.
He kept saying, whoa.
Roll just behind. Good stone there. Coming from Nathan Perry. And we've learned, and it is Todd Likes Beer, not beer Todd likes.
Yeah, although you should ask him which beer he likes, and then you can get him that beer.
I thought he just had a list. Here are the beer.
Something tells me if you put that on a shirt or a jersey as a sponsorship, you're not particularly picky.
Hard. Really hard line.
It doesn't say Todd Likes IPA. It says beer. And that draw touches the guard and pushes it off the center line, so Connolly electing to have it removed from play.
You want a guard?
As is their right. And that is the final stone of the end that's the case for, I believe. As they won't be touching their own rock off of the center line. So Wendling will be able to open this up with their next if they choose, which with the way the rocks are set up wouldn't be a big surprise.
And just the second time we've seen the no-tick rule
Line's a hair
need to go into effect. We had it yesterday, but they just left it.
Just over. I think it's going to die on you. Got to be over.
Okay, we saw this yesterday as well. They're concerned about just getting to the hog line.
Hard, keep going.
Just enough.
Just got a little soft on it.
Wendling getting a little aggressive and playing the out-turn come around as opposed to clearing anything from up top with that center guard and the rock in the top of the 8-foot. Wanting to be first into the 4-foot. Kevin Tuma's first stone.
Top 4. Wait only, top 4. Top 4. Line only. Line's great. Top 8.
Line should be good on this path.
Hard. Top 4. Hard, top 4.
Hard, nice finish now.
Gotta be full 8. Hard, get count. Good.
Does Barry. Good shot.
Full 8.
So some intrigue in this one as Chris Bond throws his second.
Yep. Hard line. Line's good. Wait only. Hard then.
Trying to drag this rock to get to a freeze.
All the way up. Hard. Touch paint.
It's up just in the top of the 12-foot, but
Chris, come here.
not a terrible position.
I'm just worried they have this. This, then they have to shoot this, and they might chip. They only have a sliver. Here's fine.
I like the draw for Wendling here. You can play either side and make it. Curious what the speed will be in the outside of the sheet. We're going to use our fancy toy here with the stopwatch. See what we can get for a hog to hog.
Folks,
it's been right around 13-8 for a normal draw.
Tyler's really excited about this, folks.
I am.
Line's good.
I like these toys. This is good.
Line's good.
Only the best from the curling stadium crew.
Close. Line's great. Little curl. Curl. Hard finish.
There is 13-8, so that's exactly what we've been looking for a draw to the tee line.
Hard, Barry. Hard.
With the sweep gets there, so maybe a hair slower in the outside of the ice.
That's good.
13-7.
Boy, that worked well, boys. Look at that.
What?
13-7.
Give these guys a raise. Sigh of relief from Mr. Benton. Everything perfect.
Hair less. Hair less.
So maybe a couple tenths slower on the outside. Really good read there from Team Wendling.
Yeah.
Swept right to the tee line. Great position.
And now Evan Workin.
Yep. Clean.
Whoa. Whoa.
Fifth
Close.
stone of the end for Team
Yep.
Connolly.
Clean. Clean.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Plenty of room here, plenty of weight.
13.
Do not
Way
need to
deep.
sweep this.
It's like here.
It's going
Want to give themselves a little more room now, too. Could throw the
What are we doing here? Pick it
same
up.
shot.
Just straight there. I don't know if we can.
I think we just lock.
He got by the
get to
guard
the
by
inside.
plenty on
Hey.
Tuma's
Like,
last stone.
4-0, 4-0-5.
So they do have room to throw another one in there. I think we might as well throw the clock up there again and see if speed has changed at all. That one glided a little bit.
Line's good.
So it is possible that this
Up
line
more.
picked up a little speed from a couple stones.
Line's great.
Line's good.
Curl. Curl. Hard finish. Hard distance.
Yeah, I think I
Hard,
might have been a
hard.
little late. We're going to call it
Hard.
14-4.
Hard, fully.
So it does look
Fully.
like it's
Curl now, curl now,
a little
curl now.
quicker from a couple
Hard.
stones.
Really good.
And stops a little bit shorter, too. So with I think about 14-3 was what that was.
What are you thinking?
Maybe got just a hair faster.
Come on, Chris.
What are you thinking, Ev?
Yeah, great.
Good rock position here from Team Wendling. Good execution on these draws.
Yeah, we got to move something here, eh?
What?
Yeah, we got to move something here.
Yeah, do you like this so that we open up these two?
Yeah. What are you thinking, like?
How much do you
control?
got?
Not a ton.
Yeah, because this rock's killing us. You like board?
Big board.
Yeah, I like that.
I think board.
We want to roll off a little, but rolling
Yeah.
there is not bad.
Yeah.
Then we can run it. Okay, board.
We got to roll hair open. So like 3/4.
So
like
Nicholas
3/4
Connolly and Evan Workin
east.
wanting to create a little bit of space there
I got,
before we
like,
get to
already
skip
cornered on it,
stones.
So like that one guard's really not even there.
Both teams playing with a lot of pace, with
We're fine here.
the blank end
We can
and
even deal
some
hair overboard. So.
trading hits. 23:30 left for Team Connolly, which is plenty of time on pace, and 25-19 for Wendling.
Yep, gotta go. Come on, hold it early. Yep, yep.
Nearly at the end of the fifth.
Hard! Hard! Come on, Nate! Right to it!
We got to roll it off. Got to roll it off. That's fine, Ev. It's fine,
A
miss.
little tight out of hand there. Wrecks the guard, opens
actually
things
good.
up. So now there's options for Team Connolly, though. That Yellowstone that they were only able to play board with to try to raise in now could run it to a pocket, possibly clear all three red stones. So if you're Wendling, you need to either guard that, move it around, or get another counter in. But your danger stone is that yellow one that's in the top of the 12-foot.
Over this one. If we're high, they can always dig it. But if they want to try to get a sliver, they might catch the yellow. It's like a 2.
I mean, it's probably only like
I think,
4
as
feet
strange as it might feel to throw up a guard with hammer when you're sitting 3, I think this is the correct shot. You really can't leave that run in on that yellow stone.
And here's the stone from Jackson Bestland.
Line's great. Line's really good. Over curling. Whoa, over off. Whoa.
This needs to stop
Whoa.
to guard that raise.
Good throw.
Might have just taken away enough. That same board weight shot is still there, but the raise to clear all 3 stones is not.
What do you think, man?
So just good enough there from Bestland.
You gotta get something closer, right?
It's either that or this.
I think that doesn't get us. I think you play this 4 to get something better, right? They're pretty choked off. You gotta
like
set
that?
up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Even if you're.
So
even
what
if you're on the nose,
they Welcome back. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We can tell you Wes Wendling picked up 3 in that 5th end to move into a 2-point advantage over Nicholas Connolly. It's 5-3 as we are at the mid-game break. And that, of course, is brought to you by Broomstone. By Broom Fitters. And Broom Fitters, where you find a full selection of curling brooms, shoes, and equipment, along with unique curling apparel, gifts, and more. Visit broomfitters.com for good curling gear.
Yeah, we are back up now. Thanks for being patient with us. I got to tell you, it turned into Lord of the Flies up here for a few minutes. Joel went over to the Burger King stand, got some ketchup, made some war paint, and challenged John Benton for chief of the tribe here. They're all in grass skirts, made a circle, and tribal combat. It was really some harrowing times. Everybody managed to survive, and John still retains control of the tribe, but there is still curling going on at the venue as well, unaffected by our issues.
Back in American Dream as we get set for the 6th end. Due to the technical difficulty, when we last left, there was an opportunity maybe for Nicholas Connolly to try and clear some things out. They were only able to clear out 1, and Wes Wendling did just enough on his draw to preserve the 3. There was a moment there where I thought they might try and measure for that 3rd point. But they decide 3 for Wendling, so they're up 5-3.
Wes actually made a really good shot on a hit and roll in to sit 4, and Connolly did all he could do with his last play to slash in and actually move 2 red stones out of count. I don't think he could do better than what he did. Unfortunately, the shooter rolled away so that the draw was still open for Wes on that outturn side where all the red stones were piled up, and made no mistake with the draw for 3. But yeah, Connolly's last, basically all he could do was lose 2 reds and give Wendling the draw for 3. Actually thought that maybe the audio feed was still up, so for about 2 minutes I was giving the radio play-by-play call on where rocks were, and when there's 12 rocks in play, that makes it really interesting for trying to set it up without visual. But I was just talking to myself and Joe, apparently. So we are back now. Thanks for sticking with us, and going to the start of the 6th. Again, Wendling leading Connolly 5-3.
Connolly with the hammer here in the 6th end, so his first stone. It's just to the top of the house.
I mean, I
and
wanted
in,
to say like
so.
top 8.
That is something that we see fairly regularly in arena competitions, especially when they have a break after the 5th end and they run the brooms over the ice, the big mops to clean the surface. The ice tends to get just a hair faster at the start of the 6th, so the miss on draws does tend to be deep. A running joke I've had for 2 years in the booth with, I always told John Landsteiner at the start of the 6th, even though he knew that it was faster, I reminded him. He'd tell me to shut up. So John Landsteiner, it's faster in the 6th as that rock goes into the top of the 12s.
You have 4 draws going on at the same time. John Schuster now up on Rich Ruin 7-3 as this second stone comes from Jackson Armstrong for Team Wendling here, leading by 2 in the 6th.
Line's good. 2.5. Finish.
2.5.
2-3. Distance. Distance.
2.5.
Hard.
Trying to get it over to the center line. They do
Really
just that.
That one's well placed. So now with the center guard and a rock at the top of the 12-foot, the 2-point lead.
Yep, no,
Hard to get under there. It's not far enough.
Over there. All right. Yeah, I like it.
In-turn draw attempt from Nate Perry.
Hard line.
Looking like they
Line's
might
close.
just be playing a freeze to the rock in the top of the
Line's
12-foot.
Yep.
Pretty sure you'll see Wendling come
Really gotta
around
go
that if
straight.
that's the case. But this is
Hard to get
curling
by.
hard towards the guard.
Hard.
May crash.
Hard. Hard. Easy, 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 easy.
Just gets by.
Nice
Good
shot.
sweep
Come
there.
on, big bump. Shot.
I mean, just
I'm
go
gonna
under
wrap.
the stagger, right?
Top
And
4.
as we predicted, they're
95 4
playing to the draw around those 2 stones in the top.
Kevin Tuma.
Line's
We were
good.
notified that there
Hard.
might be a switch in the lineup at the break. Kevin Tuma's been dealing with some knee issues all
Hard
season.
line.
Actually switched his delivery from that tuck that we mentioned earlier in the game to a flat foot delivery. It's been helping him, but still had some knee issues. And apparently, I did talk to Kevin before the game today. Said he was feeling pretty good and well enough to stick in the game. Mostly doing it for rest, not because Kevin's not feeling fit enough to play. But they really want to make sure that that knee's feeling good at the end of the week in case they're in the playoffs and need to be fresh for the playoff round.
Right there, Chris.
So the fact that he's still in the game right now definitely tells you that Kevin's feeling good. Good sign for him going forward.
Yeah.
Chris Bond.
Hard. Whoa.
Chris
whoa,
might have hooked
roll it
that one
way.
a little bit with the
Roll it that
intern.
way. It's fine.
Opens things up, rolls to a corner. West going to replace the center guard.
Yep. 15. Yeah, 15 or 20 on the side.
As Kevin Tuma gets set, Corey Dropkin out in front of Sampson 5-1. And Danny Casper leads Scott Dunham 6-3. And here is
Line's good.
Kevin Tuma.
2-3.
Let's see if they get the speed right
Just out.
to place this
Yeah,
guard.
we're in.
Okay.
Like,
Right
just
here,
in.
then.
3.
Whoa.
It's coming down a lot.
Okay.
Like 2.5
Line's
now.
good. Full finish. Hard finish.
2.5.
Hard. Good.
Nice guard there from Kevin. Good placement, good read from the team.
Like this.
One of the fun things about playing with this
Yeah.
team was having
I like this again then.
a guy like Jackson Armstrong on the broom for 2 purposes. One, when I'm shooting, I know he can get that rock moving to get it to curl and hold the line straight besides being able to carry the rock quite a ways, so it's a weapon. That's fun to use. And number 2, I can just back off and let him sweep and just watch. 'Cause I did have to sweep a few stones and put in the effort every couple shots, but mostly just got out of the way and let Jackson do his thing. And that sweeping is such a weapon in today's game with what you can do, how much you can affect the rock.
You like it up again?
I mean, if he makes the
I like it
run,
too.
I can just make it back. Yeah, 20, 25.
Now Jackson
Line's
Bessler.
good, 2.
Not a lot to add.
2.
Room.
Line's good. Little room. Lot of room. Curl.
Trying to replace
Hard
that
curl.
guard again.
Curl,
Shortening
hard
the
curl.
end now for
Really hard curl. Guards again. Hard.
Hard Jack.
Team Wendling. Another good guard.
Yeah, he bumped this one a little bit.
Might have left a little hole to come
You're-
through
you're
this
good.
time,
You wanna
though.
move it, or you're good.
Is
That
Wendling
much?
holding shot
Less.
right now?
That much?
I thought I threw it like.
Okay. We're making our port smaller. Chris, what are you doing? I didn't watch.
Now that guard
Wait,
was
we can't
bumped
make
by
this
one of
shot.
the sweepers for Wendling, so interesting decision
like
for
normal?
Connolly as they're the non-offending team. They get to place the rock where they believe it was.
Should be dead straight.
It was actually moved farther away, so it made the port bigger, which helps Team Connolly. So as they're moving it back to where they thought it was, they're actually making their next shot more difficult.
Whoa.
So small port here for Evan working to go
Yes,
through, playing the
yes,
intern hit.
Hard, Chris. Roll it under the guard. Roll it under the guard. Sit.
Yeah, good shot
Really
there.
good.
Shooter rolls to a biter on the rings, and now the rock rolls to the outside of the 12-foot, so just a slight error on placement with that guard leaves the hole.
Yeah.
And good shot.
Yeah, a little.
Clean. Whoa. Whoa.
Jackson
Curl.
Besslin with an
Curl.
intern
curl.
coming out the outside.
curl.
And we haven't seen a lot of stones come down this way, Tyler.
Yeah, it's
Good.
a little bit of a guess out there with how
9
few
seconds.
times it's played. Generally what you do when you play it that far out, especially
Think
with
it's
hits,
us.
is make sure
Or do
you
you wanna
throw
come this
enough
way?
weight that you kind of take the ice out of it, so you're not guessing as much. The more weight you throw, then the less the ice comes into play. It doesn't mean you're throwing a peel, but you just want to make sure that you're not guessing too much. Ended up rolling a little bit to the outside, and the fact that they're playing the draw may mean that they're already sitting one for Team Connolly with that rock in the top of the 12-foot.
Room. Easy. Lot of room. Curl. Great. Got a curl. Curl. Keep going, Pear. Keep going.
Really needs to turn
Come on, let
over.
me go. Every inch.
Should
Every
get
inch.
there
Keep
for
going,
shot.
Keep going.
And definitely looks like yellow is indeed two.
All right.
Hopefully didn't see a strained muscle or anything there. You saw Chris Bond slip. And the outside ice again can be a little bit
This hole.
different consistency.
Yeah, probably.
Gripper did not grip.
Can't play the dig on that. Let's make it.
I like a lot less than that.
And
I'm fine
Wendling
with
playing the
there.
draw here, so
Remember 2 ends ago when you threw it?
getting a little risky. I wouldn't mind seeing him play the run back here with the red because there's two yellows you could run it to with the 2-point lead and probably opens one up too. If you slash that red into the other yellow that's in the 8-foot, you might be shot and opened up the other counter. This is a little risky from Wes.
Maybe a hair. I don't know. Yours curled a bunch, and then JV's didn't.
Really don't want to bring 3 into play. So if you play this draw, you got to make it.
What time you like?
I think Coach Swisshelm might be making some notes right now.
Up 5-3, but a bit of pressure right here on Wes Wendling.
Okay. Got a little room.
Actually looked like Ann was handing some paperwork over to an official, so it's possible maybe there will be a substitution yet.
Curl. Okay, whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Gets by the guard. Sits buried in the back of the 8-foot shot rock. Not sure there's a port there, so they may have to draw.
There. Mine should curl a little less.
Not a bad result for Wendling.
During this, we might have some type of run at the end, or just a drop for 2. 2 is great. Yeah. Nice O.
So Nicholas Connolly. Need to be precise here. There seemed like they had the table set, Tyler, to maybe, as you say, put up a crooked number.
I can still get 2 with the last 2 shots here, playing the intern draw, and that tap on the red stone might still be there for a big end, but you really need to make this one now. And then you figure out the last shot when you get to it. The line should be pretty good. This should turn over. A lot of weight, so it might be tapping already.
Tap it! All the way! All the way! Come on! All the way! Go. Gotta go.
Doesn't quite move it far enough to sit more than 1.
Dead freeze is the force. This is more of a steal. I think we try here, right?
Okay.
Does he ever
Yeah, I think you're just throwing the clean draw because there's no double.
I'm just worried we leave it open and give him a hack waiter for 2 also. You like this?
I like it. Just gotta make it, I guess.
Yep. I'll make it. Here.
Same broom.
Yep.
You just throw it, or just threw it, so knows the line, knows the speed.
Like, I think it's
Inside a hair faster with a little less curl.
okay. If we're down to it and we freeze.
It's time to get our toy out again here.
10-15. Okay.
Expect this to be right around a 14.
We will find out as Wes Wendling comes off the hack for his final stone here in the 6th end.
Okay. Okay, easy. Easy.
Trying to put it in a position to not give up too much.
Needs to curl a little. Should get off the guard. Like the finish to bury.
Whoa.
Right around 13-7, should be there.
Straight all the way to it.
Maybe back 4 or back 8. That's a good shot. Nothing there for more than 1. Still could get a soft steal out of it being shot rock, but main thing is didn't give up anything for more than 1 with that freeze. So good conversation before the shot from Wendling about where they can be and what the options were, and then a good read by the sweepers and Bestlin in the house to get the best result. So dead weight might be around a 14-1, 14-2 based on where that one went.
Last rock for Nicholas Connolly.
Whoa. Whoa, girl.
Trying to see if they can get to a point to make it 5-5.
Yeah, sweepers put the hand up immediately
Hard, Chris.
as if the weight's there and needs to curl too.
Keep going.
Hard.
13-7, so all there.
Right to it, right to it, right to it.
Oh, really good sweep to turn that rock by Bond.
Good sweep, Chris.
That looked like it was hanging around the guard, so good job to get that rock to curl and secure the point.
So Connolly gets the point, but trailing Wendling 5-4 with the 7th end coming up next.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Welcome back to American Dream with Wes Wendling out in front of Nicholas Connolly, 5-4 as we start the 7th end. Wendling with the hammer, and the first stone coming here from Nathan Perry. Just need the weight to get to a center guard and hang on that line, and just skips off.
Actually is off the center line, so if Wendling wants to play the tick, they can. Looks like they're just going to play the draw instead. Thought they might give Jax a go at this one, but maybe he was hoping for it, get to play something fun, but just playing the come-around draw. And this is a 0 or 2 end for Wendling now. We've reached that point in the game, the 7th, where you're starting to think about even end, odd end for hammer. If they get a blank, they'd be very happy with that in this end. Take the hammer to the 8th end, so essentially a 3-end game ahead by a point. But now throwing the come-around draw.
And Kevin Tuma did come off. Caden Hebert is now in for Team Wendling.
And the eagle eye caught Coach Swisshelm handing the paperwork over there, so usually the one reason you're doing that during a game, and that's for a lineup switch. You have to hand that documentation over with the new lineup. So Kevin getting a little break.
Close. Always curl. Always curl.
A little surprised they waited until the 7th to do it, if they were going to, as you have the break. Usually a good time to get that new player in.
Like top 4.
Like a straddling tee, basically.
I have to ask Ann about that after the game and why the decision was made to do it when they did.
And for those of you who might be new, if you make that switch, it has to be position for position.
Correct.
A little more.
Yes, if Kevin goes out, then the new player that comes in has to go in at his position, which is the 2nd position.
Curl. Curl. Hard to it. Hard to it. Hard to it. 14-5. Hard. Oh, leave there.
There is no double switch like on a baseball lineup.
Not looking good.
Yeah. That's good. Force is good. Force is really good.
Rock's piling up in the 4-foot now for both teams with a center guard too. So Connolly doesn't mind this. He'd love to get a steal. A force wouldn't be a terrible result for them either with the 1-point disadvantage.
Whoa, 7. We gotta run.
Easy.
8.
Easy. Looks like a 10. It's going.
No, we're really gone. Really deep. Gotta wait. 9.
Christopher. Come on, curl in.
And that is not what they were looking for.
Curl.
It goes right by.
Nate, come here.
And that side, again, we've seen a little faster, a little straighter.
I like it.
Yeah. 4-0, 4-05 is good.
Close.
Top 4. Top 8.
And this is the first stone for Caden Hebert.
Wait 2.
Hard.
I was looking at the spelling. Hebert. Not pronounced the same as future Hall of Famer and all-around chirping legend Ben Hebert.
He was a little tight.
I mean, do we got a guard?
You ever just trade them?
Maybe a good thing. I don't know that Caden could ever follow in Ben's footsteps on that end of things.
I didn't either like freeze it or like trade them out.
Oh, you want to hit it?
You can either hit it or freeze to it. I think either or.
I can't hear.
I think you either hit it or freeze to it, one or the other.
How do we freeze to it?
Okay, that's fine. Are we shot? Oh, we're
Yeah.
shot. My bad.
I just don't know how you can freeze
No,
to it.
never mind. No.
And that's why you come down to the other end to talk about it. Oh,
I'm thinking
we're
do either
shot
guard or
rock.
do this.
I don't hate that.
Okay, just here?
I like that. Yeah.
I don't know how you freeze to it. These are in the way.
Yeah.
We could hit it, but we're
Yeah,
shot.
guard or freeze. No, yeah. Guard or freeze. I
Okay,
like the
I'm
guard.
fine with that.
I like the guard.
I'm fine with this.
Like, we're shot.
Control?
Huh? We'll make them make something here.
And as you heard from Connolly, it's a tough spot to get to play a freeze in to stack stones because of the way the guards are set up. You have to play something at least probably back house weight in order to get to nose of that stone. So they decided they want to move these around, even though they're shot rock. The weight that they're playing is going to take themselves out of shot. And that's the tough decision, is are we going to get another chance to get shot rock again? And they elected to call timeout instead.
Timeout. Come here, bro. Well, unless we guard. I know, it's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
And as Team Connolly comes to the one end, waiting for their coach, Team Wendling
But he can come around this way, you know.
heads off the sheet because their coach can't come on, but they can go meet with
Right,
Answers.
yeah, that's an adjustment in the rules too. Now you can speak with your coach
do
as
you like
long
this
as they're
then?
on the ice surface.
Or even here's pretty
Cannot
good.
come out in the field of
But
play,
then they
but
just
you can
smack
go to the
that. I think
coaching
here's
bench.
best. I like that. That's a good call. This way. Okay.
For sure here.
I prefer to be.
Not
I
here?
prefer to be here than here. 'Cause this is awful.
Do you
This is
wanna-
bad.
Do you want to get it to here as much as you can or not?
Yeah, this is great.
Like here better? Like
Well, no, here's pretty bad because then they just go through the port and get rid of both.
Okay.
Here,
Okay. I like it.
dead buried behind the yellow.
So playing the,
Hi, buddy. A lot of good ways here.
I had to pause to remember it's Mr. Bond throwing, in turn,
That last one.
come around draw around the
the last
outside,
one was like 88.
trying to bury
He had a good finish.
underneath the yellow guard, not trying to get a counter or anything. I wouldn't be surprised if this shot is made to see Wendling, even with the 2 stones in the 4-foot, try to open things up or run something in.
Wait's close. Hair down. 5.
Line's good.
Should be plenty of room around the outside here. This side does curl a little more.
Hard,
On
guys.
a good path right now. It's all about the speed.
Hard. Keep going all the way. Straight all the way. Straight all the way. Hard, Nate.
Go, 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 go.
It's fine.
Doesn't quite bury. So that port is there to move those stones around for Wendling now. Need to be careful about where you leave your shooter in this situation. Wes is saying he wants the shooter to roll wide. Hopefully for him, the raise rock, the one they're hitting, rolls under.
10.
Yep.
10.
And this is a little tight on line. Got to go early.
Clean. Clean.
I like it now.
Close. Yep. Roll.
Doesn't quite roll under cover, leaves a piece open, but pretty good shot. Does
Really
leave
thin.
at least double. Not sure if there's a triple there, but you can definitely clear 2 of these reds. If that shooter rolled just another couple inches, that shot wouldn't be there, so they got a little bit lax with the
We're
sweep
hitting this
call.
rock.
And a pretty good shot for a guy who just came on.
Yeah,
Came in.
great throw. Yeah, no, that was, he threw it as good as he could, right on line, but just needed a little more sweeping to roll so that the shot wasn't there.
Hard.
Hard, Nate.
Hard. Right to it.
And this is really close.
Hard. Hard, Nate.
They've been working.
6.
Slips by the guards.
Does lose 2. That's pretty good.
Someone's going to trip over.
True.
That still looks pretty good for us.
Top 8.
Top 8. Yeah. Like 4-1, 4-5.
Evan's a little frustrated. I'm not sure what else he thought was going to happen. Maybe the shooter stays there. I don't think all three were ever going.
Yeah, big head.
Line's good. Top 8.
Line's
Now
good.
Jackson Bestlin.
Line's good. Line's good.
Little room.
Little room.
A little straighter side, so
Distance.
might need to curl a little bit.
Hard, boys.
Well, line's good now.
Right
Just need to
only.
carry it down on that line.
Line's great.
Boy, that's a nice shot by Bestland. Really well done.
Sideways.
Settles all the way in there for second count. Actually
What do you think here?
finished almost too far. Maybe they can
I got it. We don't need to move
use
out of
that
the
yellow
rings,
and
just
bump
here.
into the
Yeah, that's what it
two reds
looks like.
at a better
Connolly
angle.
wants to do, right?
Yeah, still a great shot.
Here,
They
Les.
can't play this with a ton of weight because you can't see the entire yellow stone.
Yep. Yep.
Once again, Evan working.
Easy. Yep. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And ends up over curling in a Rex.
That's good. What?
Just a little more curl on that side. I think on the opposite side of the sheet they might have been fine.
What?
We have seen that side curl
They are, yeah.
more all game long.
That's not bad. This? Oh, this one? I mean, then they just hit this like, they just slam it.
Even though Wendling's sitting two, Connolly controls the front
just
with
there,
those
yeah.
two yellow stones in the top of the 12-foot.
Do you like trying to roll in? Okay.
I like it.
That's your best shot if you can get there. There's not a ton of air between those two yellow stones.
When you say
the
that's
edges.
the best shot, what are you looking
They're
at?
trying to just play a soft weight hit, out-turn hit on this yellow stone on the top of the 8-foot and roll on top of their own red.
Clean.
Even nose isn't
Close.
terrible.
Close, yep. Yep. Hard. Really hard. Really hard. Hard.
And same as Connolly, just misreading the amount of curl and over curls there.
Firm.
It's now a wide open double to sit 5
Right there.
for Team
Not gonna
Connolly,
curl.
and things have taken a turn.
Firm. We want to roll in. Firm here, Chris. Try to roll in Perry's way and get the double. That was a dangerous shot call.
So big moment here
None. I hope it curls an
for
inch
Nicholas
here for
Connolly. They're trying to set up a big number on a steal.
Yep. Yep.
Really
Playing-
put some pressure on Wesley Wendling.
Playing firm weight, trying to hit just off nose on the inside and roll in.
Hard, Nate! Nicholas. Come on, man. Fucking layup. Come on.
Yeah, that's a unforced error there. That's a shot that Connolly expects to make. He's pinched it a little bit.
I like the hit and roll.
Less room for error on that side of the sheet with the amount of curl. So Wendling maybe
don't
can
ever
get
freeze here, do
not
we?
just out of a jam, but put together a 2 or a 3 with hammer.
I mean, I feel like if we draw anyone here, we're risking giving him another double.
I was just seeing like here.
Do we ever like tap and roll? That's pretty good.
That was my thought, that tap and roll
Right.
that he's talking about.
Split, it's pretty good, yeah.
Like we go there, then he either runs that or just freezes and tries to force. Yeah.
Do we call our timeout?
I'm fine with a timeout. Timeout.
Not a bad time for a timeout here. This is a big shot in the game. I think Ann probably will like that same tap and roll that they were talking about.
I don't know.
He just hits and rolls, and then, I mean, I guess you always have the enough double, yeah.
Olympian and world champion Ann Swisshelm coming down to talk shop with her young charges.
Draw there.
She was my introduction into interviewing curlers at the 2002 games in Salt Lake.
Yeah, gave you a little education from the sound of it. Yeah, Annie, it's possible they elect to play just to draw to the top of 4 foot.
Picks one and we have a draw for 2.
Also might be able to use your own.
Right there.
What split are we looking for in this?
I like here.
It looks like they are just throwing
Not sure.
the clean draw and not the tap. I don't know that I like this as much as the initial call that Wes had to tap that rock and roll, simply because there's a really small area to throw this draw where you don't leave a double. You have to get a piece underneath that yellow. If it sits open, then there's a pretty straightforward double. Again, with the tap, at least you're separating the stones, and you do get a little more margin for error.
415.
This is just it's a little more difficult shot to get essentially the same result.
And on his first stone of the 7th inning, can Wes Wendling execute what they discussed with their coach?
Line's good. Okay, easy. Close.
Just need to get a piece
Close,
underneath
straight.
that yellow stone in the top of the 8 foot.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep. Okay. Switch.
Weight should be right around top 8, top 4 with that
Okay.
clock. It needs to sit. Yeah, that's a pretty easy double, and that's the reason why that shot is so much tougher. Is it's so easy to leave them a shot like this. It's so close to a great shot, perfect weight, but if it nestles up against that red, you can hit it basically anywhere, and they both go out.
If I throw the same fucking shot, we make it.
With the tap, you can move that rock back and get a little bump off of the stone to get to the inside. It's just an easier shot, way more likely result of a make.
Clean. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Curl!
And Nicholas
Hard,
Connolly
Chris.
with his last stone.
Hard.
Can he
Hard!
get the takeout?
Get out.
Just good enough.
Jesus, Nick. You're bad again.
Flared it a little bit, but
Still wasn't even open.
Nick's teammates got to be a little easier on him here. He made the shot. Coach may have to have a little chat with the fellas here.
15.
And last rock for Wendling. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do what he did last time.
Yeah, just to draw to the forest, makes the exact same thing, and can hang the point.
Feels good.
Line's good. Okay, easy. Easy then. No backing.
This one's gliding a little
backing.
bit.
Right up. Right up, Jack. Whoa.
Considerably more weight than the last. This really needs to stop. Hitting the brakes. Wow, that really ground down. My goodness. That looked like back 8s and hit the slide path and just ground to a halt. So good enough for the point. A big one for Wes Wendling.
It is a point. It is hammer for Connolly, but trailing by 2-6-4 after 7. Steve's Curling Supplies, America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years, is proud to support USA Curling, no matter your skill level or budget. Steve's Curling Supplies has all of the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. Right now, save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USACurling10 at checkout. That's USACurling10 at stevescurling.com for all your curling needs. Back at American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We're just across the parking lot from MetLife Stadium where the Jets and Giants play at the rink as we start the 8th inning with a center guard coming from Team Wendling.
A little surprised they go to the guard with the 2-point lead. The 5-rock free guard zone rule has made teams a lot more aggressive without hammer because you can't peel the corners on the 5th shot of the end. So that really changes how you map out your defense in these situations. A lot of teams are playing to a guard and then going around it to make their opponents chase so they can't use those center guards. Also a little surprised that Connolly's electing to go around it as opposed to throwing a corner themselves.
Trying to get it buried.
If I'm Wendling after seeing that, I'd almost consider playing the run back on my red stone with a 2-point lead. You get the entire end to play out in essence to hold your opponent from getting a 2 or more.
Top 4, T.
They're going to go around.
T.
Top 4.
You've seen that actually at the elite level a few times the last couple seasons where a team will throw a center guard that's relatively tight and their opponent goes around it, but it stops in the top 12s or top 8 foot, and they elect to throw the short run immediately, even though they threw the guard on their first. Brad Gushu, I've seen do that numerous times actually with Jeff Walker.
What's that? Go around again.
This water bottle's too small.
Clean.
Nate Perry playing the intern come around and don't like seeing when the sweepers are walking behind the stone.
Come on, dig, baby.
Gonna need that to hit the brakes to stay in. With hammer, anything in the house isn't a bad shot right now. It does stay in the back of the 8s.
So 5th shot of the end, and this is Caden Hebert.
Top 8. Line's good. T. Top 4. Top 8.
Now really with the setup the way it is right now, I would have been awfully tempted to throw the little red, yellow rays, keep the shooter in, and take that stagger away.
Line's good. Line's good. Finish.
They're electing to try to go around it.
Hard. Good.
Oh, really good shot. Now the stagger helps. Now that you made it.
Freeze or peel?
Yeah, peel.
If you're Wendling and you see the peel, you're awfully happy.
Could just straight peel.
We can roll the
Yeah, this is helpful for Wendling.
Yeah.
Even rolling to the corner isn't that great. If you're Connolly here, you can come and chip your yellow stone, have the shooter roll into, get 2 counters, and take that stagger away. Peeling the guard now, I think Wendling's just going to start hitting as well.
Hard! Hard him! Hard! Get over it. Good.
There you go.
Well, that makes things more interesting. The accidental run back. That's a bad break for Wendling. They were going to get a break with the call and opening things up, and instead they They make the whoops run.
4 feet less.
So second stone in this end from Caden Hebert.
Like 2.5,
Line's
3.
good. 3 forward.
Caden's been sharp for the
Line's good.
first couple shots already, coming in cold. Made a couple nice ones in 7. And Joe, that's really hard to do. Coming into a game, you know, it's like a NBA player coming in has to shoot a couple free throws, ice cold right away. And that one comes up a little shorter than they would have liked.
And for somebody like Caden who's sitting there watching, how much can he pick up from just seeing what Stones are doing that helps him? And how much do you really have to have feel?
I guarantee it's a constant conversation with Coach and Swisshelm behind the bench, getting information about the ice, the speed, and making sure he's staying focused on the game. So you can have the times down, you can know exactly what the speeds are and what lines are doing what, but there's a big difference between that and still getting out there and executing when you've been cold the entire game. All you get to do is stretch and then come out and take practice slides. It's not like you're throwing stones.
Right.
So that's a lot different. And now again, that peel, that's a plus for Team Wendling there. Now you have to think about what your objective is for the end. If you're Connolly, you're trying to get at least 2. You really would like to get 3, and you need rocks in play to do that. So making that peel, now there's 3 wide open stones in play, and Wendling can just play to try to eliminate the big end. I'm going to clear at least 1. This is the back, but that's advantage Wendling when you open the sheet up like that. If you would have told Wes that this was going to be the setup going to third stones, then that's exactly what they'd want. So if you're Connolly, as opposed to playing the peel and opening things up, you want to play some taps, move things around, try to set up some freezes or use your guards, but don't clear things out. Now playing the double. They may still end up getting 2, but they're going to have to play a perfect end the rest of the way out and not have Wendling make a double.
Hard! Hard, Chris! Hard! Roll it, roll it, roll it. Get over. Sit. Stay in there.
Peel 1, and that just rolls too far.
And got a little lucky with the spin back, too. They still have 2 rocks in play, but Wendling can hit and sit 2.
Clean. Whoa. Close. Whoa. Whoa. Close.
I think that's one where in the post-game meeting as a coach you ask, why did we play the peel? Don't tell them it's not the right shot. Ask them what the objective was. What were we trying to accomplish, and what were we trying to accomplish at the start of the end? Those 2 things probably don't line up very well.
Because if you're trying to get big numbers, you can't now with Team Wendling sitting 2 and you only have 3 rocks left.
Air more. Air more.
We do have a final on sheet D. John Schuster, no surprise, puts another 3 up. And the final score over there, 10-4 over Ruinen. After the 8th end, they shake. So Richie drops to 0-3 and in a big hole.
Hard!
Going to need to string some together to get back in playoff contention.
Hard! Hard, Chris! Hard!
Makes the hit, rolls over to the opposite side.
Peel here.
Well, Wendling's looking at playing the double, but he's hitting the number 3 counter first to do it, and the other rock has to go all the way across the house. I'd be tempted to just hit and stick on the number 1.
Go here.
Now that's a pretty good shot. I mean, if you play the double, you need to make it because otherwise you're giving the 2 back. You don't want to hit number 3 when you have the opportunity to hit number 1 first, and there they switch it up. Good thought process, good conversation.
This is fine.
Yes, the double is there, but doesn't mean you have to play it.
And is that a conversation that goes back to what we were just saying about Connolly? What's your objective
Right,
here?
yeah. Your objective is force. That's the number 1 thing. And if you make this hit and stick, it's really difficult for Connolly to get a 2. They're going to have to roll all the way to middle with their own hit and sit in front of the red just to have a chance to get 2. If you're Wendling and you make your last 2 shots here, you're probably forcing. You really need to hold it, though. Can't roll out. Only rolls a little ways, so that's pretty good. Good sweep there. Looked like it was taking a little turn, but again, straighter side of the sheet. So now in order to make the double, it's going to be really difficult to stick around. I think your best bet is just to try to roll in front of that red.
He's like pissed
And at least leave a chance to jam.
Well, earlier in the game, I was calling control every time he kept upping it to normal.
Now, Nicholas Connolly has struggled a bit on some of his stones with speed. I mean, you heard him last stand. He was like, oh, come on, Nicholas. And then even after his second shot, was still dwelling on his first.
Yeah, and even in the hack right now, talking about previous shots and weights, you got to clear the slate and throw the one you're throwing. Focus on the task at hand. You can always have those conversations after the game. That's the time to handle it. And if there's something you need to talk about, you can do it between ends. Still trying to get this to cross face, but doesn't quite get there. So now same thing if you're Wendling. If you hit on the nose, there is no shot for 2. So playing the simple shot where they changed their minds and played the hit and stick, that was the smart play. You didn't have to make anything crazy, any doubles where you got to shoot a rock all the way across the house and hit the number 3 counter first to do it. Just 2 hit and sticks is all you need to do to get your force. Simplify the game.
Last rock of the 8th. As Wes Wendling wants to see if he can force Connolly and still lead by 1 going into the 9th with the hammer.
It's fading back a little bit. They need to get this to curl a little. And just misses the back, and that's just fine. So Wes straightened out that out turn, too. He's made a couple of those now where threw them pretty clean. Not quite as positive a release where we saw the rock fading backwards really hard. Good throw there by Wes.
Touch fully.
A little touchy for a second, but ends up just fine.
Yep.
And going back for Connolly, I mean, they kind of put themselves in this position by playing that peel. It's advantage Wendling when one team's trying to prevent a 2 and the other's trying to score 2 or more, and there's less rocks in play and you're trading hits.
So last rock of the 8th, and Nicholas Connolly.
Medium ad. Need full 8.
Really just needs to
can't hurt it.
Put it inside the 12, take his point, move on, and then see what they can do with the hammer, perhaps in the 10th end.
Good sweep to get it there for the single. Will be 1 for Connolly.
And so 6-5, Wendling with the lead with the hammer when we come back for the 9th end. And Warm Room Hero is the intuitive curling club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registrations, and more. Warm Room Hero, a platform built for curlers by curlers. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. Warm Room Hero at curling.club. So we start the ninth in. First stone for Nate Perry and Team Connolly. They're having to sweep to get the guard, and they will do that. We mentioned John Schuster over Rich Ruinen earlier, 10-4. The others still going. Corey Dropkin out in front, 6-2 against Sampson, and Scott Dunham trailing Danny Casper, 9-6. Casper with the hammer in the ninth. And here it is Wendling with the hammer in the ninth, leading by a point, 6-5. Joe Tollison, 2018 gold medal winner, Tyler George. Glad you joined us today.
Top 8, top 4.
We're in the middle of a
Little room.
4-draw day at the curling championships. Earlier today it was the women's draw 3. We'll have draw 4 from the women coming up at 4 Eastern, 3 Central.
14-2. Hard forefoot. Hard, boys. Hard as you can. That's good.
There's been multiple times now, the second half of this game, Joe, where Team Connolly's thrown a center guard that didn't touch the center line, and Wendling had an option to play the tick to try to open up the center, move them both at least to corners, and elected still to come into the house instead of playing the tick. So I imagine that that's a
Line's good.
That's a team decision before the game.
Just a
And
one.
if they have
Okay,
that
it's gotta curl
opportunity, they're just going to
Keep
draw
going
in
deep.
instead. Maybe a shot they haven't played as much because of the rule changes. But generally on tour,
I can't hit it yet.
with this score in this situation,
Nice sweep.
you see teams play that tick
3.
because you're really making it difficult for your opponent to steal if you don't have center guard. Simple enough. So something maybe to ask Coach Swisshelm about after the game again too.
Line's good. Top 4. Top 8. Top 12. Top 4. Top 4. Top 8. Line's good.
Top 4.
Line's good. Line's good.
We do have a final over
Wait
on
only.
sheet B
Distance.
now. Dropkin,
Distance of ever.
I believe, scored
Line's
at
good.
least
Line's good.
one more, possibly 2. So 7-2
Really good.
or 8-2 final.
Good
But
judge.
the game is over.
And Corey Dropkin bouncing back after coming up short against Scott Dunham last night.
And it is 2, so 8-2. Dropkin gets the win. And no surprise to see Corey and his guys rebound the way they did. Really just that 4-point end they gave up in the first against Dunham, battling
Yep,
back the
line.
entire game. But in control from the get-go
Hard,
against
guys, you got
Sampson.
it.
Get themselves to
Hard.
2-1. Sampson drops to
Hard
2-1, but
Hard, guys, you got it. Get it here.
good start for Team Sampson
Hard.
overall
Line's
still
great.
with
Right
that
here.
2-1.
Right here. Lock it on. Lock it on. Easy, 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 easy.
And there they freeze
Nice sweep,
to
guys.
that
14-0.
stone. A little bit of space against it,
There we
but
go.
And this is
buried as well, so good shot.
part of the
Great
reason
shot,
why
Chris.
you
Really good.
think about playing that
Really
tick is
good.
because of this exact situation now.
That's pretty good.
There's 5 rocks all around the center
good.
line,
Great shot.
where if you play that tick, there's no center to go around. And you're actually helping their cause by stacking more rocks up in there. Well, I'd be awfully tempted to clear now, too. And he's worried about where that second rock goes. I really don't think it matters. I think you need to clear it anyways, even if it ends up losing your own red stones. You're up by 1 with the hammer. But Wes is all game
Right.
played to be first in, keep the other team chasing, and
play this.
keep attacking
Even
with
if we
draws
just
in.
tap to there, it's good.
Ninth end,
I
as
like
they
that.
discuss this a little bit more, and for
just
Wesley
leave us
Wendling, he
there,
has plenty of time.
Go
They're just
there
11
and
minutes
move
on the
them out
clock.
a
Yeah,
little
both
bit.
teams,
They don't need to
no
be out of
concerns
touch,
like a
about time
12-5,
right now.
right? Because there's no really good double peel here.
Wes
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
used their time out, but 10:45 to go can take plenty of time to discuss.
Nah, like a 65, 70. Like a 12-5.
Now, Caden Hebert,
Close.
Yep.
his
5.
first stone of the end.
Hard.
Down.
Straight.
Caden playing this little
Hard line.
intern run in.
Hard.
Down.
Really hard.
I think they want to move that yellow stone if they can, but
Really hard.
ends up touching the guard and still leaving 2 centers. So Connolly will get a chance maybe to set up a steal with this rock setup.
Just inside nose.
And
Line's
Chris
better.
Bond.
Yep. Easy. Clean.
6-7.
Right to it. Right to it. No bounce. Got a curl. Looks really hot.
Need this to turn
really
over.
hot. Curl, Nate. Curl.
It's going to bounce
Curl.
off. Just a
Curl.
matter of how hard.
No roll. No roll.
And actually rolls deep enough that
Really not, yeah.
there isn't a double. They can come off of it and maybe move the yellow.
Like, we get both and then they just go here. Maybe even this again. If we just rip one, they're going back here. We don't have one. I like this again.
That's a good reason to not call a timeout.
Wait.
There's no technical fouls in curling for calling timeouts when you don't have one. You just signal for it, and the official just says no.
Little less.
Hey, Bear.
Close.
Touch less.
Playing the same
Like,
shot. They
to the
want to
head.
move these around.
Just to the
They're
hack.
definitely going to make contact with the red.
Close.
Just to the hack.
Close.
I think you need to sweep a little. This is
Hard
curling.
straight.
Don't want it to get the
Really
nose.
hard. That's fine.
Yeah, definitely could have swept that, kept the angle a little better, and tried to move that yellow off
There's
the
still
red.
one, but we don't want to tap it too much. Freeze is great. Little tap's okay.
Yeah, freeze now, and
Yep, full 4.
Connolly can take control of this end. And this, again, coming back to Wendling opting not to open things up and just piling stones in the forefoot. So last 2 ends, really, both teams playing into the other team's objective, what they're trying to accomplish.
Room if anything. Room. Stay close to curl. 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 No roll. Sit. Good. Really good.
And neither of those top 2 yellows are going out now. I think you still have to maybe hit those with some weight and move them around.
Try to move
You're going to move your own reds out, but at least you're taking the backing away. So with your last 3, maybe you can start clearing.
Close.
Out turn from Jackson Bestland.
Yep.
He's got some heat.
Yep. Hard.
As he gets by the guard, and
Good.
as he said, you're not moving the one. So
I'm actually surprised that 2 of them went out.
There's still
Hit that at just the right angle and actually missed that back red.
Giving you a hair last ice.
So that's a better result than I think we expected.
And after Evan Workin for Nick Connolly, is this just a little hit and roll, try and bring it into the center?
Oh, just a freeze.
Okay.
Just coming down to their own stone. If they can tap it a little bit and sit 2, it's not terrible, but they don't want to unlock it, really.
Straight. Hard, guys. It looks good. Wait only.
They really need to go to get it there and to get by.
Hard. Stay on it. Hard. Come on. Go. Roll it off. It's all right.
Maybe actually a little fortunate that it ticked the guard. If that gets by, probably is a freeze for Wendling, maybe even just to make sure that they don't give up more than 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was, I didn't know if it was worth trying to hit off that outside red
No.
in the 8 and
No, that's
bring it over.
you need to take that position on top of the yellow. You could set up a steal of more than one with the freeze.
You don't need no.
That's something you play later in the end if it's there. You might see it because that guard is there now, an in-off for Connolly.
Wait. Oh. Close. Whoa.
Whoa.
Curl.
Close.
Curl. 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 Curl.
Oh, really good shot there.
Really good. Beauty.
Nice throw by Bestland.
Do we want to move the 6 or no?
Very casual with the sweep call with how
We don't really
close
wanna
that
move it
got
here,
to the
so this is
guard.
easy thing, right? So just this, right?
Yeah, whoa, and you get by
So
half
like
an
playing
inch.
that, he's just going to play this then, right?
Yeah, but we'll be shot.
Shows how comfortable
Right.
You like board?
Wendling is with the ice right now, too.
Oh, I can get theirs. I like what you like.
I like board. Because we can hit it thin that way.
Still an opportunity, though, for
I think in just lightweight board.
Connolly to hit and roll in off of this
We don't
red
want to move
stone.
that top one because if we open it up, then they just have an easy run.
But they really need to get the roll. Rolling out would be disastrous and maybe leave a double. If they roll in, they can put a little more pressure on Wendling here with at least an opportunity to steal one, maybe more.
We're calling it aggressive. I like board because then if we hit it thin, we still get that nice roll in. 70?
So first stone in the 9th for Nick Connolly.
Yep. Yep.
Easy, Chris.
Clean. Close.
Looked a little tight out of hand. This side does
Gotta go.
curl.
Hard, Chris.
I think they just didn't believe the amount of curl.
Hard. You got to go.
Hard.
Right to it.
Hard. You got it.
No roll.
Hard.
No roll.
Don't curl.
Stop.
Sit.
Fine.
What the fuck?
Whoops.
A little slip there, but stays upright.
I got it.
Yeah,
That's fine.
he put it back.
So Yellowstone is open if they want to play a little tap and roll. Can also just
I
free
don't know
or
if you can
draw
get the
down
shot.
into that pocket.
You got to be here for a shot. I don't know if you. No, you have to be like past the yellow into the blue.
Yellow is sitting 2 right
Yeah.
now, it appears.
The other option, maybe we play like a back liner.
I think that's
go
probably
there.
your best
we
shot.
might have the in-off
Give
for
yourself
that
a
one
little
later.
margin for error.
I kind of like that. Back line,
I like that.
probably here.
Yeah. Back
This
line.
is the only one still going.
I want to move it a little bit.
Yeah, I like moving this stone back. You can
Yeah.
set up maybe a multiple point end if you can
What time are we thinking?
get a bit of a roll and take that rock out of the 4-foot. You don't have to play a kill.
I like a little more ice.
We do have a final, as you see from the banner. That makes our work real easy. You like that. Casper overdone him 11-6. Took 2 in the
Time.
9th end. Put the clamps on that game. So Danny moves to 2-1. The middle of the pack really tightening up.
Close.
This looks like plenty weight for this shot. And we're only playing for
Curl.
Curl.
back line through.
Curl.
Has to get up. It's turning now.
Hard.
See
Hard,
Jackson
Curl,
Anderson
hard,
really
hard.
getting
You got
this
it.
thing
Hard.
going.
Go, 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 go.
Hard.
Not too bad. That yellow rock is awfully lonely in there now. When you can see the difference, Joe, that having a sweeper like
He's just going to play this crotch.
Guardy just dropped.
Anderson is really getting that to turn.
You guys think draw or are we worried about that? Yeah, of course.
He's just going to play
This-
So what's the
pretty
option
easy,
here
though.
for Nicholas Connolly?
He can even come off that and still score.
Well, first you need to look
Maybe
at,
just guard
okay,
it
what do
and
they
make
have
the
right
draw.
now,
Not easy.
which they're doing. It's a little short run in for Wendling. Red to yellow for a pile. So I think, where
but I
Nate
could be
Perry's talking about, if you can get to the top of the button there, That's probably your best bet.
We're fine with throwing a
This
run,
is pretty
right?
hard to miss, right?
Pretty easy.
This is like getting come across the center here.
They can
So
guard
right
on
like
that
here?
side too.
anywhere.
If they
But
do,
if
then
you keep
Wendling
it
has
up,
the option of
this is not
either
good.
playing the
Anywhere on this
in-turn
path,
draw
right?
for 1 or
Yeah.
the in-off
Even a little
for
out.
5.
Anywhere in that path. Anywhere in that path.
I think the wide could be a little slower, but yeah, we're guarding this hole. We want to guard a little bit of this so they can't come off of it. Yeah. So you think there?
The problem with
Straight.
throwing the draw
I think
is
I hear more. I think I hear more.
Okay.
Wendling
It
might
might
be
be-
able to
might be
just
gross out
throw
there.
peel into the pocket of
here.
those 2 red stones that are sitting side by side
Yeah.
and have that rock remove both yellows.
Well, if they're over here on the right, could Wes Wendling just
Yeah,
come
should
down
run
this
pretty good
left
here to
side
start.
and just
What do you say?
My partner's pointing at the screen here too.
this is a little left to,
We-
to,
he's
to nudge out
telestrating
the
for
shot
me.
rock?
Yeah,
Should
they
run
could
pretty good out
possibly
here for a
bump
while.
that out. It's you can't see hardly any of that stone, so you'd have to play like a back line, or not even, maybe back 12 weight to tap it, but you
think
can
we
only
can,
see maybe a quarter of it.
Keep it out.
And you can't,
We'd rather
actually
guard
can't
the
see
slab
any
with
of
the
it
1
with
for 1.
that center
Forcing one's
guard
fine.
there. But with the guard as high as it is maybe they can move that. So they're taking away the simpler shot. They can't take away everything that Wes has. The one that they're guarding is his easiest shot. There is a draw, there's a tap, and there's an in-off on this side. So that's why if I'm Connolly, I think getting another counter in is probably your best bet because you
Right here,
can't
right
take
to it,
everything
right
away.
this line.
Line's
Always
good.
Nate. Always Nate. Always Nate.
Curl.
Always Nate. Always
Curl.
Nate. Always no,
Draw
no,
to the
curl.
top of the button
Don't
for
curl,
Connolly
don't
probably
curl,
is your
don't
best
curl,
bet.
don't
But
Curl.
now
Work
Wes
it.
will get to decide
We're good.
which one he likes most.
Good. Our thoughts are either.
Yeah,
that was our thought.
We're
We're either.
thinking the hack or the in-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the 2 we're talking about, just the
Yeah.
bump on the yellow or the in-off on off the winger. You can play either one without fear because your worst-case scenario is a steal of 1 and you have Hammer coming home tied up, but you can win the game with this shot right now.
You don't have to cut it close to those. It's cutting it close to this.
it close to this one.
And then
Yeah, it's whatever one you think you're gonna make.
I kind of like the hack.
All right,
You like that?
just whatever weight Caden was throwing.
I think we're like there.
He's talking about playing with hack, which is a lot of
little
weight to
tight,
play
but-
that with.
I think I could give you a little more.
Yep, that's fine. Like 12,
So really he's
12, 12,
he's
5.
saying
Yeah,
we're
12.
just trying to hit a third, a quarter, and push it far enough to get 2. So I don't think you can get more than 2 playing this with the weight that he's calling. You probably win the game getting 2.
Yep. 12,
But it's a
12, 5.
preference shot. And this is the one he feels most comfortable with. But again, this side is the straighter side, so if you're playing as much as hack weight and you need it to finish, then you got to get pretty tight to the rock in the top of the 4-foot to make it, maybe even that high guard.
And here it is, last rock of the 9th inning. Could this be it
Wait. Close. Whoa.
for Wes Wendling and company?
Close. Yep. Yep. Up.
And it's turning hard now.
Oh. Yep. 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 Yep.
Hard.
Boy, they
Whoa,
might
whoa,
get a
whoa,
big chunk
whoa.
of this, actually. Wow. All right. Surprised me. I didn't think they could get that to finish that much. Actually makes it for
At least
4, possibly. At least 3.
At least 3. Is it 4? That's the question.
That is a really good shot by Wes Wendling.
This way, Jack.
I think it's 4.
It's not this one, right?
Doesn't matter either way.
Well, they're deciding if they'd shake if they're down 4, and you heard Evan Workin say if it's 3, we're playing. If it's 4, we're not.
Yeah, it's 3 for sure.
Boy, he really got that to walk in on that line, too. That's the side that we'd seen be straighter throughout the game, but took a fairly early turn. It was a really good throw.
And it's 3 for Wendling. And a 9. Well, no, they are going to
Still
measure. Beg
measuring.
your pardon. I
can't believe how many measurements we've had so far this week.
We're trying to get your percentages back up.
No, it's not helping. Yeah, still, I think I'm sticking with red. This is really close, though.
I'll say yellow just to be contrarian.
And it is red.
It is red.
All right, I'm back on track.
So it's 4 for Wendling with a fantastic shot to end the 9th.
Wow.
And a 10-5 win over Nicholas Connolly.
I can't tell you how good a shot that was by Wes. I mean, I admit when I'm wrong. I didn't think they could get more than 2 playing that. And with the way Wes got that to walk in with that in-turn, chip that rock out, I mean, 4 I didn't think was possible. So unbelievable shot by Wes. Big win for them to get to 2-1 in the standings.
And a big win last night over Danny Casper. They follow it up today and get the win over Nicholas Connolly. And you can see Danny Casper a win over Scott Dunham. Corey Dropkin took care of Ethan Sampson. And John Schuster 10-4 over Rich Rowanen. And that means we're back in a few hours for draw 4 on the women's side in our feature match, Shield against Rachel Workin. So coming up, just the first of 3 more that we have, of 3 that we had on this. We had Dean Gemmel in early this morning to take care of the first one of the day. But we will be back with draw 4 on the women's side. And it will be Miranda Shield going up against Rachel Workin. That is before our feature match this evening, which will be Scott Dunham against Rich Rowanen. But we will be back at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. But here, big win for Wesley Wendling over the team Nicholas Connolly's team, and a 10-5 final. For Tyler George and our entire crew, I'm Joe Tollison. See you in a few hours for draw 4 from the women's side here at American Dream in the USA Curling National Championships.